What is a green card? Or rather, why is it so important people to apply and find different ways to get a green card? Or in other way, I can ask the question, why is green card so important that even my YouTube channel has so many videos educating people about green card lottery? Welcome everyone. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo EBM. In case today is your first time to come across to this channel, I welcome you to be in a position to learn so many things. We are talking things related to immigration, green card, scholarship opportunities, how to lose weight, how to be able to write and self-publish your books on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and other platforms. But today, I'm focusing specifically about green card. I've been talking about green card lottery, but some people are confused. They want to know, why are you spending more time talking about the green card? What actually is green card? And why is this item so important to many people? So, in order to go that, before I continue, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel to make sure that you share these videos to other people. So let me start. Green card is just an official nickname of what we call permanent resident card. And permanent resident card is a card which is issued to immigrants here in the United States of America under what we call the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA, is the evidence that the bearer of this particular card has been granted the privilege of residing in the United States permanently. That's why it is called permanent resident card. And this card, as I said, is having an official as a nickname green card because it is green in nature. But at one point, this permanent resident card was changed the color to be a little bit white, but was returned back to the famous greenish color. So to continue to have what we call as official name as green card. So, why is it important? As I've said, individuals with a green card who are known as lawful permanent resident or other green card holders are allowed to live or residing in the United States on permanent. That is the biggest privilege. In that way, they can be in a position to live and work without restriction. This will be something I'll talk over on the importance or the need for you to apply for green card, whether through green card by lottery or through green card other means, which I will mention or just highlight them in this particular video. But overall, let's go to just the biggest part of the green card. Having a green card, which is official permanent resident card, allows immigrant to live and work permanently in the United States. There are different ways someone will be eligible to apply and get the green card. So I will talk about those ways later. But I'm starting with the first part of this video. What is the importance? Why is so important for someone to be able to apply and get the green card? And why myself or so many other people are emphasizing people to be able to apply and get this green card. So, why is this a green card so important? These are some of the most important parts of green card, becoming a green card or permanent resident of the United States. There are some of these might not be applicable to you. They might not be very important to you, but I'm going to talk all of the procedures or all the reasons of someone to see the importance of green card. So let me start with the importance number one. Remember, importance number one is the ability for you to never go to the US Embassy again in your life to apply for the visa to come to the United States of America. When you want to travel to come to America, obviously you have to go to the US Embassy to apply for the visa. But once you become a green card holder, you will never, or you are not required forever, because you're already permanent here, to go to the US Embassy and get the visa. You'll be, if you are traveling maybe back to your country, for instance, myself, I'm originally from Tanzania, I will be able to come to the United States, just get into the plane and come back to America without having any reasons to go to the US Embassy and ask for the visa to get the permission to enter into the United States. That is very huge, because remember, getting the US visa is a privilege. No matter how many evidences you have, you might get it or you might not get it. So that is importance number one. So whether you want to live in America or you live in your country, as long as you have green card, you can be able to come to the United States at any time without having a problem of going back to the US Embassy and asking for the visa. The second benefit of becoming green card holder or becoming permanent resident of the United States is that you can be able to live and work in the United States permanently without any restrictions. I will explain one particular restriction I will go to explain, which is vastly different from other restrictions. Ability to be able to work here in the United States, no matter how many hours you want, without restrictions. If you came to the United States, if you applied, maybe you came here in the United States through a student, for instance, F1 visa, you will not be in a position to work any number of hours you want. You are restricted to work 20 hours per week during the school year, and during the holiday you can be able to work more hours, but you are allowed to work all those 20 hours per week on campus. So there are some restrictions which are there on student visa. If you are going to come here, you are coming here as J1, H1 visa, working visa, you'll be restricted to work to only the employer who is sponsoring you. You cannot be working on any other employer. And once you are fired, your work status is going to expire. You have to go back to your country within 60 days, or rather, unless otherwise you get another company to sponsor you. So there are those kind of restrictions. If you come as a tourist, obviously you are not allowed even to work for 1 hour of your life here. But if you come as immigrant, those are non-immigrant. If you come as immigrant green card, you have a green card, you are allowed to work to any employer, no matter how many hours. You have 20 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you want, you can work all 24/7 every single day without any restriction. The only one aspect of restriction, most of 99% of all the federal jobs require US citizenship. So the biggest part is ability to come here without asking for the visa is benefit number one, but also to be able to work, to be able to live here without restriction. But if you come here as a student, you'll be coming here, but you'll be having maybe 2 years visa. Once your studies are over, maybe you have 1 year of extension of OPT, then your visa is over, you have to go back to your home country. So that is something you need to see. What is the difference between non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas? Non-immigrant, which is on temporal basis, you have a deadline, you have the visa expiration date. But green card lottery is a permanent. By permanent, even if you have to renew after every 10 years, I'll come to explain later that the renewal is not means that you are going to renew, you are becoming like they can say no. residence or permanent is permanent forever, but the card is going to expire. The card, but the immigration is immigrant is permanent resident doesn't expire once you become a green card holder. So that is another benefit of becoming a green card holder. Then another benefit is the how you can be able to attend universities for less, either for you or even for your children, because you are permanent resident here. You will have more opportunities. You are no longer international student. For instance, international student is going to be paying out of state, or sometimes international student fees, which is very, very higher compared to if you are resident of the particular state and plus you are a permanent resident. Sometimes you can get 50% lesser money, I mean the amount you're supposed to pay compared to the international student. And the other thing which you have to add is a permanent legal resident here. You are eligible to apply and to receive federal financial aid for your education. You might also be considered for a lot of grant, and also you'll be able to eliminate a lot of the student tuition cost. So there are so many benefits for you and even for your children once you are here. Once you are here as a green card holder. This is not a very, very big one, but depending on how you want, you can be able to contribute to the political campaigns, but you are not allowed to vote. That is something you have to know. I will come to talk about what are the things as a green card holder you are not supposed to do, is to avoid those kind of things to go to vote. The only US citizen is allowed to vote. Another thing is to qualify to receive social security benefits. The Social Security Administration, SSA, which is a primarily funded through payroll taxes, offers economic security to retired and disabled people who are as well as their families. So for that case, green card holders are able to qualify for these social security benefits through their permanent resident status. For instance, a green card holder who has over 10 years of work experience can claim retirement benefits after working in the United States for 10 years. But international students, sometimes because you come here, you are here for 2 years, then you are going back to your home country, you cannot be able to claim those kind of the benefits if you are just international student. Another thing which is very important, green card holder is able to sponsor immediate relatives. If you hold a US green card, you are given a chance to sponsor for your immediate family members and give them the ability to also stay in the United States with you. By immediate family members here in the US immigration is unmarried children under the age of 21, the parents and spouses of the green card holder. But there is something you have to know. Usually we have what we call the preferred family categories, who are the main preference. There is number one preference, obvious US citizens and their immediate family, like the spouse of US citizen, parents of US citizen, children under the age of 21 of US citizen will be given the first priority of becoming green card. If for instance for me, I'm a US citizen by naturalization, I can sponsor my family and be able to come here. But green card holder is also given that one, but usual is this another category of preference, but you'll be able to receive those one. Another thing which I mentioned, the travel inside, outside of the United States, I mentioned about that one, but also something very, very important as a green card holder, it gives you more opportunities. Yes, you are allowed to work by any employer, but any employer, in order to, any job will be posted there, especially these professional jobs, they will put there, this employer is not giving sponsorship. It means it gives you opportunity as a green card holder to be in a position to apply for those kind of opportunities. And I have to give you one trick which I've been using and it works on my advantage. I know myself, I have accent. I know myself, I came here not compared to someone who was born raised here in America. So no matter my experience there are certain kind of jobs will be a little bit difficult to work compared to a natural born in America with American accent. We have to know what our strengths and what are our weaknesses. So for instance, if for me, I go to get a job as customer service talking over the phone, basically it will not be a very good idea. I can work, but sometimes you might be upset because people cannot be able to understand your African accent plus British accent and talking in the American context. Sometimes it will be a very difficult to have a very good customer service conversation over the phone. So for me, myself, I prefer not to apply the jobs which are related to talking over the phone every single day as part of my job. But there are certain jobs, they require someone with a skill set from developing countries. If you go to the non-profit organizations, if you go even to the government. That's why I've been talking some of the opportunities, especially when you decide to become a US citizen. You can decide to join and become FBI. You can become CIA. You can go and work in the White House. You can as a Secret Service. You can be able to work as a diplomat. All those opportunities allows you or gives you advantage of cultural background from your African country, from your Asian country. Your language skill set will give you more points ahead of any other American who maybe went to college and studied Arabic, but you are from Arabic country. You know the language, you dream in that language, you speak, and you have every single thing about that particular culture. So those are some of the advantages. You need to know what are your strengths, how you can be able to offer. So the better opportunities, there are certain opportunities which obviously will give you an added advantage over any American, regardless of the experience of that particular American. So that is something you have to be able to know the differences. So those are some of the big benefits of becoming a green card holder. There are so many smaller here and there, but those are the big one. But overall is just ability to be able to work, to live here permanently without any problem. But there will be some other restrictions. You need to know what are your rights and what are your responsibilities. What are you expected? Rights and responsibilities of the green card holder or permanent resident. What are you expected? You are expected to live permanently in the United States, provided you don't commit any action that would make you removable under immigration law. Meaning, while you are green card holder, yes, you are permanently, but there are certain crimes you have to be very careful not to do those kind of crimes, because they might end up going to make sure you are going to be deported or remove. They take out your green card. For instance, one of the big crime would be for a green card holder to go and vote, and there are so many people who have been removed. Their green card have been rescinded because of the mistake of voting. And this mistake is because they are excited in the election, or for instance, at the time of Barack Obama, will have to vote because he's my fellow African person, or this 2016 election, we are going for 2020 election, you are excited and you are going to vote. And how it happens, you go to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle, to go and register for ID or the driving license. They'll ask you, do you want to vote? And for you, because you do not know, for them, they don't know whether you are a citizen or not, you say yes, they register you to vote, and you are just going to vote. Failure for you and ignorance of the law is not the defense of the law. So you are going to be deported if you are caught going to vote and while you are not a US citizen. And these are the cases. You can see these pictures are the pictures of people. One was a priest, one was another grandma. They didn't know and they voted in the 2016 election. When they are caught, they have been deported. So those are some of the responsibilities you have to know, certain commitment you need to avoid. Another thing which is very important will be about paying the tax, which is very, very important. One of the biggest crime here is not to pay the tax. So make sure you follow all the processes about what amount of tax you are supposed to pay, and you have to make sure that you pay the tax. Otherwise, you might end up being deported. So you have to know what kind of crimes they'll make you lose that status as a permanent resident. But also, there are some people, they want to go and live in their mother countries, or they have jobs overseas. You are allowed to go to live there, but there is a limitation. How many months you are supposed to be there? If you can live 6 months consecutively, yes, but if you want to live more than that, there is advance parole form you have to fill. So you have to know what are your rights and what are your limitations. No matter what, if you are a green card holder, you are still a citizen of your own country. So if you are Kenyan, you are permanent resident of America, you are still Kenyan. So if you want to go to Canada, if you want to go to, let's say, to Britain, you are going to be treated as a citizen of Kenya. Your green card holder cannot change anything because you are citizen of Kenya, you are a citizen of Ghana, you are a citizen of Argentina, you are a citizen of Spain. It doesn't change anything. You are still a green card holder. Unless otherwise, you have to wait until 5 years of green card as a green card holder to be able to become a natural citizen. That means you can travel as a US citizen with American passport and be protected as American citizen wherever you are. So those are some of the important things you need to know. One of the other thing is, as I said, green card usual expires after every 10 years. Why are the green card expires every 10 years? Remember, previously the green card, the card itself, they used not to have the expiration date, but nowadays they have expiration dates. So do not worry at all. The expiration date of the green card, it doesn't mean that your permanent residence itself has expired. It just means that the card needs to be renewed. That's the only thing. But your card doesn't expire. If you fail to renew the green card, yes, you have the risk of going to the Department of Immigration to provide more documentation to prove that you are green card holder. But if you, to avoid all those kind of things, just do as very soon as possible before it is going to expire. Obviously, yes, you will go to pay the money, which you are going to pay. I think it is in order to replace a permanent resident card. There are certain procedure. You have to fill a form, I-90 form, immigration form number 90 form. So you fill that form and you make sure that you are going to fill the form and apply before it expires. And it has application fee. It is about total about $540. The form itself is $455 US. And then there is a fingerprint, which is by biometric services, which is $85. So total is $550 in case your green card has been lost, stolen, and destroyed. But if you just want to, so there are so many different kinds of fees, but the overall is just $540 is when you are supposed to pay. And that card is going to expire after every 10 years. So it's just up to you to make sure that if you want to become a US citizen after every 10 years, not to pay that amount of money and get more benefits of becoming a US citizen, you can go ahead and choose to become a natural citizen. The only other green card which you can be able to become a natural citizen before 5 years is if you have got your green card permanent residency status through marriage. But all other green card, you must wait for 5 years. Only by marriage is after 3 years of marriage or 3 years of being green card holder, you are going to allowed to apply and become a US citizen. The other shortcut, if you want, if you are a green card holder, you can go ahead and go and make sure that you apply and get the go to the military and you can become a permanent resident. So those are some of the most important ways on how you can be able to go through the green card at all. So this will be a part 1. I don't want to make this a very long video, but this is a part 1 of how you can be able to know the importance of green card and some of the limitations and some of the requirements and what you're expected to do as a green card holder. Apart from that, overall, I will give the part 2 about what are the different ways on one person can be able to apply and get green card. Beyond the green card lottery, what other ways you can be able to get green card? So let me end up here. Thank you everyone for your continued support of my YouTube channel. I wish you all the best in lottery and other ways of being able to migrate, whether it will be to migrate to America, to Canada, to Europe, Australia, New Zealand, wherever country you want to go. I wish you all the best. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share my YouTube channel and videos to your friends and colleagues in the other social media. All the best everyone, and this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM and EBM out. Thank you. May God bless you, and you will be able to continue to share various opportunities when they come along.